You know that gut punch feeling when you realize someone's been planning to leave you, way before they actually tell you? Yeah, that was me. It was a Tuesday evening, just after 7. I'd kicked off my shoes, loosened my tie, and was about to heat up leftover pasta when my phone buzzed. Mia. 3 years together. Almost 2 years of living together. I thought we were doing fine. We had our dumb little inside jokes, our Netflix shows, our Sunday grocery trips. Nothing screamed, we're in trouble. Before we start, I just want to say that this is our new channel and we're really working hard to bring you the best stories. So make sure to subscribe and support us to reach 1,000 subscribers very soon. Let's start the story. I opened the message and it was just one short paragraph. I need a break to figure myself out. No contact for a while. I remember staring at my screen for a good 30 seconds, thinking maybe I'd missed a second text. A joke, a LOL, something. But no, that was it. I called her. No answer. Called again. Straight to voicemail, and I'm just sitting there in the quiet, holding my phone like it's gonna explain itself. No fight, no warning. Just, I need space. I didn't sleep that night. I kept replaying the last few weeks in my head, wondering what the hell I'd missed. But in the morning, I told myself, fine, if she needs space, I'll give it to her. I didn't realize then that this space was already occupied. The first few days were weird. I kept telling myself, don't be clingy. Don't blow up her phone. She said no contact, so I busied myself with work, went for extra long runs, even tried cooking something other than pasta for once. But here's the thing, when you've been with someone for 3 years, silence is loud. Mia wasn't just gone from my text, she was gone from everywhere. No memes on Instagram, no comments in our friends group chat, no random "what are you doing" messages. Still, I held my ground. Respect her journey, right? Then Saturday happened. I was scrolling through Facebook, which I barely use anymore, and I saw her mum had posted an album. Title, Family Vacation, Cabo San Lucas. I almost kept scrolling. Almost. But then I saw it. A tag, Mia. And in the very first photo, she's on a boat, tan skin glowing, hair all windblown, with her arms around some guy. Not just any guy. Ethan, her high school sweetheart. I felt this cold rush run through my chest. My stomach actually flipped. I clicked through the pictures. There they were, laughing over dinner, snorkeling, holding hands on the beach while her parents smiled right next to them. I sat there, phone in hand, trying to process it. She said she needed space, no contact, to find herself. Turns out, she found herself right in Ethan's lap. At first, I didn't even feel anger, just this hollow, sinking kind of numbness. 3 years together, countless late nights helping her with job applications, paying for her grad school classes when she was short, covering the rent when she forgot her half. And now, here she was, smiling in sunset photos with a guy she dated when she was 16. The more I stared at those pictures, the more the numbness burned away. In its place, something sharper, colder. I wasn't stupid. I didn't believe for a second that this family vacation just happened to include her ex. This was planned, coordinated, hell, maybe even rehearsed. And that no contact line, that was just a clever way to make sure I wouldn't ask questions before she skipped town with Ethan. I closed my laptop and just sat there in the dark, staring at the wall. I thought about all the little ways I'd carried her over the years. The surprise trips, the medical bills I covered, the times I skipped buying something for myself so she wouldn't have to stress. And I realized something. If she could cut me out of her life this easily, then she didn't deserve to take anything from me with her. That's when the idea started to form. I wouldn't yell, I wouldn't beg, I'd simply let her have the break she asked for. But I'd also make sure it was a break from everything I'd ever done for her. The next morning, I woke up earlier than usual. Not because I wanted to, I barely slept, but because my brain wouldn't shut up. Every thought led to the same place. If she wanted space, then I'd give her all the space in the world. The first thing I did was pull out my phone and open the banking app. Over the years, she'd gotten used to me covering our shared expenses. We had a joint card for groceries, gas, and a few monthly subscriptions. Her Netflix, her Spotify, her gym membership all ran through my account. One by one, I cancelled them. No drama, no warning, just gone. Next was the joint credit card. I froze it instantly. She wouldn't even be able to buy a coffee without noticing something was off. Then I opened my laptop and went to Amazon. Her wish list was still linked to my Prime account. I removed it, along with her delivery address. By the time I was done, I sat back in my chair and realized I felt lighter. It wasn't about revenge, not yet. This was about taking back control. She'd built her comfort around me, my money, my effort, my time. If she wanted to figure herself out, she could do it without leaning on me like a safety net. I wasn't angry when I did it. Actually, I was smiling because for the first time in a long time, I wasn't the one getting blindsided. I was the one making moves. 2 days later, I went into the guest room, the one she'd slowly turned into her personal closet. Racks of dresses, designer handbags, boxes of shoes stacked like Tetris, makeup drawers that could rival a Sephora aisle. Half of it I'd bought her over the years. I stood there for a moment, looking around, and then I pulled out my phone and made a single call. Hey, yeah, this is my name. I need a pickup for a large shipment. Fragile items, clothes, personal belongings. The address is her parents' house. The moving company guy asked if I needed packing help. Yep, I said. Please wrap everything. Nothing stays here. By that afternoon, 2 movers were boxing up her entire second life. Every purse, every pair of shoes, the fancy hairdryer she swore she couldn't live without. And here's the kicker. I included a handwritten note in the last box. Since you needed space, I'm giving you all of it. Everything you own, back where it all started. Enjoy the journey. When the truck pulled away, the apartment felt different. It was quieter, cleaner, mine again. I sat on the couch that evening with a beer in my hand, scrolling through social media, when a notification popped up. Her mum had posted again, another vacation photo. Her daughter, my figuring herself out girlfriend, was in the shot, smiling, holding hands with her high school sweetheart on a beach in Cancun. And for the first time since she'd sent that "I need a break" text, I actually laughed, because now I knew exactly how this was going to end. I waited a full 24 hours after the movers had taken the last box. Not because I needed the time, but because I wanted her family and friends to really notice the absence before I made it official. The next evening, I sat down at my desk, opened Facebook, and stared at our inner relationship status. For 3 years, that little line had been there, our names linked together like some digital promise. Click. Change to single. I didn't write a cryptic status. I didn't post some sad breakup quote. I just changed it. Within minutes, the notification started. Old college friends, co-workers, her cousin who always liked me better than her. Some were just shocked. Others were clearly fishing for drama. And then came the best part. The mutual friends who commented things like, "Guess her self-discovery trip is going well. Saw the pics. Dude, you're better off." One guy even sent me a screenshot of her mom's vacation post with the message, "So this is why she needed a break?" I didn't respond to any of it. The less I said, the more they talked. And the more they talked, the more the truth started spreading without me lifting a finger. By the end of the night, my phone buzzed with a text from an unknown number. "I can't believe you shipped all my stuff to my parents. That was petty and cruel." No greeting, no apology, no explanation. I just replied with 3 words, "As you wished." It didn't take long for the honeymoon vibes in her little self-discovery trip to crash headfirst into reality. A mutual friend, someone I hadn't spoken to in months, called me out of the blue. He didn't even bother with small talk. "Dude, she's losing it. She thought you'd just wait around." Apparently, her high school sweetheart wasn't exactly the picture-perfect rebound she'd painted in her head. From what I was told, he was still living with his parents, working part-time, and driving the same dented truck he'd had at 18. Not exactly the globe-trotting romantic adventure she'd been envisioning. Oh, and the best part? He wasn't a fan of her designer shopping habit. She'd been used to me covering spontaneous weekend trips, expensive dinners, and a monthly just because allowance. Now, she was splitting the bill at Olive Garden. I heard she started asking her mum for loans to cover basic stuff. And her mum, apparently fed up with being caught in the middle, told her, "Maybe you should have thought this through before you blew up your relationship." Meanwhile, I was doing better than ever, sleeping better, eating better, and thanks to not funding someone else's lifestyle, my bank account was looking real healthy. The first weekend after she got back from her break, she tried calling. No text first, just a straight-up phone call. I let it ring. 2 minutes later, "We need to talk, please." I put my phone down, grabbed a beer, and stepped out onto my balcony. The city was quiet, the sky was clear, and for the first time in years, I felt completely free. 3 days passed after that missed call. I figured she'd eventually get the message. But if there's one thing I'd learned about her, it's that she hated not having control. On the 4th day, I got an email. Not from her best friend. The subject line just said, "You owe her a conversation." I almost laughed. Owe her? I owed her nothing. The email was long and dramatic, full of phrases like, "She's been going through so much. She's confused and needs closure. You were such a big part of her life. Don't you think you should at least hear her out?" And then, buried halfway through the message, the real reason. Apparently, the guy she'd gone on her little family vacation with the high school sweetheart trip with had ghosted her. No breakup talk, no fight. Just stopped answering calls, blocked her on Instagram, and poof, guess her journey of self-discovery had led her straight into a brick wall. Still, I stayed silent. 2 more days passed. Then I got a text. Not from her number, still blocked, but from a random unknown one. It read, "This is really important. I think I might be pregnant." I stared at the screen. My gut told me exactly what this was. A desperate attempt to bait me into responding. I didn't. Not a single word. That night, I boxed up the last of her random things I'd found. A scarf, some books, and a pair of earrings, and shipped them to her parents' address with no note. It was my final move. Clean cut, no loose ends. 2 weeks after I sent that final box, life was starting to feel lighter. No constant drama, no "where are you" text, no guilt trips, just quiet. I'd started hitting the gym again, eating better, even sleeping without that gnawing anxiety in my chest. It's wild how much mental space you get back when you remove someone toxic from your life. Then, out of nowhere, I got a call from a mutual friend, the kind of guy who lives for gossip. I didn't want to pick up, but curiosity won. He wasted no time. "Dude, you won't believe what's going on with her. Apparently, after her high school sweetheart ghosted her, she tried going back to a few old flings, but word had spread, and not in a good way. One guy blocked her after a week, another called her bad news, and told his friends to stay away. The pregnancy scare text? Total lie. She'd admitted to her best friend that she made it up just to get my attention. The best part? Her parents, furious that she'd been stringing me along and then humiliating herself online, cut her off financially. She had to move back in with them, which meant, she was back in her childhood bedroom, 29 years old, unemployed, and spending her days scrolling Instagram for validation. When my friend finished telling me all this, I just said, well, I hope she's enjoying her journey of self-discovery. And I meant it, in the most sarcastic way possible. It's been months since all of that went down, and honestly, I've never felt more at peace. At first, I thought I'd feel bitter or want revenge, but over time, I realized I didn't need to lift a finger. Her own actions handled that for me. The lies, the games, the fake break, it all caught up to her without me doing a thing. Meanwhile, my life, it's been moving forward. I threw myself into my career, landed a promotion, and even started traveling again. New people, new experiences, no emotional landmines waiting to blow up my day. One of the biggest things I've learned is that closure isn't something they give you. It's something you create for yourself. I didn't get an apology. I didn't get the truth from her, but I did get my self-respect back, and that's worth more than any fake reconciliation could ever give me. I've even started dating again. Casually, nothing serious. And the difference between those connections and what I had before is night and day. No manipulation, no constant suspicion, just ease. If there's one takeaway from this entire mess, it's this. When someone says they need a break to find themselves, what they usually mean is, I want to explore other options while keeping you as a backup. Don't be the backup plan. Pack their stuff, ship it, and set yourself free. Trust me, the peace that comes after walking away, that's the real happily ever after.